Now, another way, I just solved this by just using the trig function sine and cosine to complete the square. But this time, I'm going to complete the square using u substitution. So, I'm going to get out my red pen for this. So, let u equal the sine of x. So that u squared is sine squared of x, right? So I can say that this is 2u squared plus 3u plus 1 equals 0. And if factoring didn't work, I could have solved this by completing the square. So I subtract 1 from both sides, and I get 2u squared plus 3u plus that something squared is equal to a negative 1 plus that something squared, right? And this is where I got my math wrong the last time. Would have had to divide these by 2. Sorry, 2. So that I get u squared plus 3 halves u plus, and like I said in the last video, 3/4 squared, right? Because isn't that 3 halves over 2 as a complex fraction form? See? And now I'm about to get out my blue pen. So this is u plus 3/4 squared in factored form. And I said this was a positive 1/16, right? And then I square root both sides to get rid of the square. Indicate that's plus or minus that value, because you got to be careful there. U plus 3/4 is equal to plus or minus 1/4. And then I subtracted 3/4 from both sides. And that gives me the values for u to be a negative 1/2 and u to be a negative 1. Now this is only for u. The real question is the sine of x. See? Okay. We're going to get the green pen out. So now the sine x is equal to a negative 1/2. And the sine of x is also negative 1. But what we said, the sine of x at negative 1 is an extraneous solution. Because when I checked this on the graphing calculator, I did not see 3 pi over 4 a solution. So I'm going back to my black pen. So the sine of x at a negative 1/2, I look at my unit circle. And I remember my A, S, T, and C. First quadrant is where all trig functions are positive. Second quadrant are where all sine and cosecant functions are positive. Third quadrant is where tangent and cotangent angles are positive. And fourth quadrant is where all cosine and secant angles are positive. So it's not in the A and S quadrants. It's the T quadrant where the sine is negative 1/2. So x was 7 pi over 6. And then x is also 8, 9, 10, 11 pi over 6, right? Now, it's just for these two angles, but it's not given any given interval. So, in this case, I have to go every 2 pi k. And the same for this solution, 2 pi k. Now, if you wanted these in like degrees, you could say that x is 210 degrees plus 360k. And x is also 330 degrees plus 360k. Now that's the solutions for x in degrees, right? So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's many ways you can solve this. And I'm gonna do one more stream on like the hardest way to solve, to like rationalize the denominator. So one more stream and I'll be done for the night.